All right, guys, so moving on to our next story, we are talking about Akira. Akira. Boom. Dom.
Akira.
Akira. When we do it like that, it just sounds like Ricola. All right, so
Oh, God.
Akira, which I don't have the graphic up, Akira is apparently so that live action adaptation that people, in my opinion, kind of forgot about. I think
Yeah.
it's gonna happen. It's gonna be a
Okay.
thing. Apparently,
Well,
it is.
apparently it was a thing, and then it wasn't, and then it possibly was, and then it
Oh,
definitely wasn't, and now
oh,
it's here.
it wasn't a thing for years, Tristan. I mean,
Right.
this film, of course, was popularized, obviously not just in Japan, but of course it became a huge hit in the U.S. in the '80s. So of
Right.
course, the second something whiffs of a hint, even if it's weird, well, whiffs of a hit. It's even if it's like, oh well, it's not American, it's not American, but Hollywood is gonna be like, but we can make money off it. So
We can make it
they,
into live action and make money off of it.
yes,
Wait, now, hold
so
on a second.
yeah, right. So they could have done this in the '90s, but there's been like weird script stuff and treatments and all this stuff, like
Yeah.
things getting picked up and dropped by different companies for years. But it seems as if Warner Brothers,
Mm.
yes, that Warner Brothers is going to be well, because funnily enough, they've gone into kaiju so much recently. Thinking of
Yeah.
the end of the movie, it actually makes sense. Warner Brothers apparently, actually, the California Film Commission revealed on Tuesday
Right.
that Warner Brothers' live action Akira film will shoot entirely in California and receive a tax credit of $18.5 million. That's, of course, is in USD.
But it's
And
gonna take place in New Manhattan.
which is really odd, and I'll get to why in a second. The project must begin, however, within 180 days to receive the tax credit. So it's getting
Oh,
filmed soon.
well.
And apparently, the project is
Right.
scheduled to shoot on 71 days of filming in California. The film
Ooh.
will generate an estimated $92 million in qualified spending, including $43 million in wages to 200 below the line crew members and more than 5,000 extras. I would like to mention that I didn't realize this had to be addressed this openly. Like, should we just find this for every movie? Like Godzilla, or because I assume they filmed in Cali. So could we just like talk to the California Film Commission, or
No,
like
that one
see on
was
their
in Los
website?
Angeles, so that means it was definitely filmed in New York.
You know, I don't even know anymore.
No, it fucking around.
I mean, I'm not gonna. You're
I
probably
mean,
not
yeah, it'd
wrong.
be hilarious.
I
But I'm
mean, think
pretty
about it, right? I mean, Tristan, sorry to interrupt you, but you have to think about it like this. Oh God, Tristan's cat is killing him. But Tristan, this is true, by the way. Every single season of Power Rangers, and I don't know if it's every single, but many of them are set in California.
right.
Over the last, I'm gonna say nearly 20 years, so maybe like 17 to 18 years, they have been filmed in New Zealand. And most of them say, oh yeah, we're in California, we're in wherever the fuck California. And like, no, but it's hilarious because just like, aren't you from California? Yeah, of course I am. What do you mean, California? Love it so much. Why is it in California, why is it always so dark? Every time we film a scene in California, it's always dark. The ones that are from Japan, they're not dark. Like, it's just so funny, dude. Like, but I have to show Tristan the kids with the really bad accents,
Oh,
not the Power Rangers, because those are played by adults, but the kids that they talk to of the week sometimes, where the kids, I'm like, oh my god, you're so adorable, you didn't even try. Like, you didn't even try to not be like, hey, it's the Power Rangers. Like, it's like you could have literally just dubbed him over with an anime voice actress from the US. You could have tried,
oh boy.
but they didn't. Anyway, here's something interesting. Speaking of New Zealand, director Taika Waititi, or I think it's Taika Waititi, he was behind Thor Ragnarok, Boy, and Hunt for the Wilder People. I don't know about those last two, but I know that Thor Ragnarok was awesome. So I'm so happy that he apparently is that he confirmed in an interview in 2018 that he is still April 2018 that he was still working on the project. Now, at this point though, we do not know if he's still going to be directing though at this point, because
Right.
he could be a director, he could be a writer. I mean, again, we don't know. He has written stuff before, but what we do know is that apparently this was from 2017 though. That's the thing. So in 2017, it was being talked as by Deadline as is taking place in the quote-unquote rebuilt New Manhattan, where a leader of a biker gang saves his friend from a medical experiment, which, I mean, is the plot of Akira. That's not wrong.
Yeah, it's not wrong.
No.
Although I really wonder what's going to be the event that led to the rebuilding of Manhattan.
Well, remember, it's America. They can just say nukes. Like, it doesn't matter what year it is. They could still say it was like a nuclear event. What's the reason why I agree with you, though, Tristan, is if they don't want to piss off foreign territories, they might not say it was a foreign power, and I don't know where they would go there. Because, like, they don't want to piss off the territories that they want to sell this film to. So, I don't know. Like, would they say Korea? You know, would they say North Korea? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. No, I mean, I would assume it would be left ambiguous, or it would be a testing that went wrong, or something to that effect.
Well,
or you know what? For like today now, how much you want to bet it'll be like a satellite fell out of the sky or something?
Yeah, maybe, or at least that's because to be fair, that is the cover story.
Remember?
Remember, it was in Akira that did that. Yeah. Technically, it was never supposed to actually be nuclear fallout. They said it in the after the impact, and we were supposed to assume yes, nukes. But then in the story, by the end, it's like Akira did this shit. I think it was Chris Abbott's character that was like, we basically cover up everything. I mean, we're the government.
Well, it was a cover up because they were testing on psychics. It was never a bomb. I think the bomb was the cover up.
Yes, exactly. So in this case, if you're right, but what I'm saying is it's a cover-up regardless, so they could say that it's a satellite instead of a bomb if they want to be, a bit more chill about it. But either way, it's not supposed to be the actual plot either way. But I do think that because they're filming in Cali now, I have a feeling that it might not be a new Manhattan. They might keep it in like a new California type situation. And what they'll probably do is... Well, what was that?
Like New Los Angeles, or
well, because I think they're going to go with that because I think that they might want to do what happened with the newer Godzilla, where they had they were focusing not just on the U.S., but they were focusing on Cali, Hawaii, and Japan. So they might have a similar situation in this case, where they might focus on those three, or at the very least with Cali, and they'll have more Asian actors in the film. Because I believe we did a story where it was a while ago. Wow, it was before we started going live on Twitch. It was Taika Waititi. He was discussing the fact that he wanted to have more Asian actors in the film, potentially even having an Asian main character. So this might be their way to try to excuse it. Yes, there are Asians in New York, of course, but this might be their way of being like, oh, well, there is a very large Asian population in certain parts of California. They might just write it that way and then have more Asian characters in this film. I would hope so. Apparently, by the way, not only will the movie be based off of the manga more than the anime, which I'm very thankful for, because if you want to see an adaptation of the anime in live action, I would suggest just watching the anime itself. It was beautifully animated. Yeah. I mean, the amount of money spent on that, still to me, the movie holds up today.
Oh, yeah.
So... just go watch the movie.
They did things with that animation at the time that nobody thought was possible.
It was nuts. So again, just go watch that movie. So I'm happy. And it says with each film is going to tackle 3 volumes of the manga, spanning 2 films. So good luck. I don't believe it. I believe the manga is more than 6 volumes, but either way, good luck with whatever they're trying to do in general. And apparently, it says Mad Chance's Andrew Lazer. I don't know who that is. Andrew Lazar. I don't know. Andrew Lazer is producing the film alongside Leonardo DiCaprio. Well, I'm sorry, Leonardo DiCaprio and Jennifer Davison's Appian Way Productions. So it's not like Leonardo is like gonna be in this or anything like that. Really be on set, staring. But
DiCaprio being a fan of Akira.
Oh, definitely.
Could it be real?
Well, no, because Akira, again, it was something that it wasn't like, Akira is a hit among anime fans. Right. Akira was a hit.
Across the board.
Across the board. People, I would argue that is one of the things, at least in the 80s, that made some people look up and be like, what's this Japanimation? And
Okay.
like now we're like, oh god, they said that word. But at the time, they were like, what is this Japanimation? And I feel like something like Akira definitely led people in the right direction. Of course, we had Astro Boy before that and Gigantor, of course. But I do think that Akira was one of those things. Like, heck, Akira's before our time. Because you and I, Tristan, our first anime was Dragon Ball Z and, stuff like Pokemon.
Right.
Right? But I can still obviously understand that, Akira coming before us, that was like really big.
Yeah.
Either way, though, anything you want to say about this? Are you interested in this movie? I mean, you and I did a review on the anime adaptation.
Yeah.
Heck, not just the anime. We played the video game on our channel, on our Those Guys Play channel for Halloween in July. Yeah. So, what are your thoughts on this movie? Do you think it's going to do well, Tristan?
Well, I'm definitely looking forward to this more than I was playing the game.
That's extremely fair.
Yeah, it's funny because this kind of falls into that category of I could see them making a live action adaptation of this easier than other anime.
Yeah.
I am a little bit worried because there were they mentioned in the article that there were rewrites to the script to help cut down on costs.
Oh, okay.
I'm wondering if, like, obviously when Tetsuo has his transformation, like, that would be one thing that would tip me off to being like, yeah, might need to rework that, change that.
That's not going to be in the first one anyway if they're making two
True.
movies out of this. So
Yeah,
I
that's true.
think what they might have done is maybe they cut costs on, like, how many bike scenes there were, or like military facilities, or like maybe
I would
like
say the psychic powers would be the one that takes the most budget.
Yes and no, because here's the thing. So from what I remember, and
I mean,
not talking
I
about,
don't know special effects, so like
that's the thing. So I'm not talking about the manga because I don't know too much about it. Just from the anime, it seemed like the special effects that we saw, they like it wouldn't be. It's not like the end of the movie, like when he transforms, that to me is like the biggest, like, oh fuck, can we do this? But having like a few things get destroyed, I don't think that's as big a deal as it is compared to setting up all of the shots to drive around and go through that city, because the whole city is supposed to be in ruins.
Right.
That takes a lot of work to make a city look like it's messed up. Like, even if they go to like some sites that are being worked on at the time, like a factory or something, they could get those rather easily. But to try to drive around and act like the world doesn't exist around you, that's going to be rough. So perhaps they either wrote things so that it isn't in as much ruin as it originally was supposed to be,
right, or that the damage is more concentrated in a certain area,
or like they just kind of took out some of the bike stuff, because I think a lot of the bike stuff, again, this is all I know from the anime, would take up a lot of money versus like having one of them just scream and then have like the world around them change. I'm not saying that can't be costly, but it's not like anyone's flying is the thing. What I'm trying to say, like certain types of effects can be. I don't remember in the anime anyone flew.
I think Tetsuo did fly at times. It was more like levitation. I guess.
That's. I'm sorry. Right, you're right. Levitation, of course. But I'm trying to say, like, it's not like a Captain Marvel thing where like that's a lot of money getting put into that. So no, I don't know. I don't think that it's going to be. I don't know if it's going to cut costs on like the psychic stuff, but I think that some of the more material stuff that like you have to like get not just one good bike, you have to get multiple good bikes, because what if one gets wrecked? Hell, one is supposed to get wrecked. Like filming those stunts and things like that. The human aspect, I think, can sometimes, especially because they're people, be more expensive than the stuff that happens in post.
Right.
Where, of course, you still have people in post. There's still people, all right? We appreciate you when you're working in special effects. But you have more time to work on something than when you have to film all of this stuff and then go, ooh, that shot didn't look right. Well, reshoots, and that's another sunk cost into this. I'd
love to see what they do with this. I think we might have a better idea of what's going on once they actually release a trailer.
Well, of course, which, I mean, I think we're going to have it. I think looking at the fact that they haven't even begun shooting yet, but they have to begin shooting by, what was it? Oh, yeah, the project must begin within 180 days. So if it's this 180 days, and this story came out as of this recording, it came out within like 10 days. So I don't know when this clip is coming out on our YouTube channel, but recording came out in 10 days. So that means that you got 170 days left. Even if they finish filming everything, I wouldn't expect a teaser, and I mean even a teaser trailer, till late 2020. Because with the amount of special effects that might have to go into this, because there's also the special effects, Tristan, the stuff that we don't think about. Like, oh, it's snowing. All special effects. Fooled your ass. And I'm like, oh shit, really? Like, some movies will do that. No, like, some movies will just, like, take a shot of, like, your backyard, Tristan. Right? Your backyard. And then turn it into a war zone. Like, making it look like there's, like, bombs everywhere and stuff. And you're like, what the hell? And it's like, yeah, we just needed that.
Goku in my backyard.
That teaser trailer might actually be out on our Those Guys Play channel right now as we're recording this. No, but like seriously, special effects teams can do a lot of crazy stuff with like the weather and like the way, you know, the backgrounds look and stuff like that, buildings. And hello, Patchy, you're adorable. I love you.
Don't need the headphones.
Anyway, I'm saying is I wouldn't expect a teaser trailer till it's even at the least like a 20-second teaser till 2020.
Right.
Because we're already in April. So that's just my take. But I want to hear what you guys have to say about all of this stuff down below. Do you agree with Tristan and I? Because I do think that, yes, this is a movie that can lend itself to being live action more than other anime. And also I think that unlike something like Aladdin, I'm okay with this getting remade only because while with Aladdin it's being remade by Disney. So I'm like, really, guys? Like, you have your original one, you're making money off that. In this case, this company, you know, Warner Brothers, they don't have the license to Akira in the US. They didn't make Akira in Japan. Right. So like they're making something new, and I understand making something new off of something that you're able to make money off of in this case. And of course I'm happy that the original creator is getting money for this in licensing, I would imagine. Right. So that I'm okay with. But when it comes to Disney just creating Aladdin again with minimal differences perhaps from the trailers, I'm like, we have the original Aladdin. I like the original Aladdin. Why can't we watch that? That stands up. So anyway, I want to hear what you guys have to say. Do you think that this adaptation shouldn't happen, that it should happen, that you're interested, that you're not interested? And tell me what you guys think about all this stuff, including the director and some other stuff that we've said throughout this clip down below, either in the chat for Twitch or the YouTube comment section. So tell me what you guys think.